Hello and welcome back. Today I am continuing on the saga I started, I don't know how long ago, but I've kind of just not gotten around to it, so I think it's time to get it done. It's a rather unusual project. It's been partly dismantled, as you can see, but what it is Cyma's in-house triple date calendar watch. And this is in a gold-plated case, so the case had been sent off to be professionally refinished, and it looks fantastic. So this is all pretty much ready to go. I have done some work previously. Turned up an extra pusher for the quick set, as that was missing. And but I haven't taken the movement apart. I've basically just taken the module off to have a look at it, and here it is. So I can get this into focus so it doesn't come on. Well, you get the idea. I'm going to rig this up a bit better in a sec, but yeah, this was all rusted. I've removed some of the rust, but I'm going to continue that as I take it apart. We can do this properly. There, that's a bit better. We got a clear view of the module here. So you have your day, and you have your month. Month is, you move that manually. We'll just leave it here. You have your date, which you can quick set with this, and your well, you should be able to, I don't know, it's not in, yeah, well, when it's in place, you will quick set it here. You can see that moves there. And your day, you'll just have to move manually. But yeah, so your basic kind of triple date mechanism. But what's pretty cool, it's all made into one module, which then goes on to the Cyma 454 series. This is called the 455, as it's made to go with the module. But very cool movement. I'm going to take this apart in time lapse because we're going to put everything back together, and as we do that we will just do the same thing in the opposite order. I'd like to point out that one of the reasons this project's been standing still for a long time was that the date hand was missing. That broken off, and it was missing the sub-second hand, and it had the wrong hands in general. So I've managed to find two hands that are the correct design for this, and I've got a correct sub-second hand and a date hand. So finally we can put this watch together how it should be. I've now fitted the shock protection jewels and various cap jewels. You have quite a few on this movement. Lots of different constructions. You have the Cyma Flex construction here, and it's different on the underside where you basically have a spring you screw down. You have a different form of capsule being held down here, and you'll have a third style on the top of the gear train bridge here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different spring styles and 4 different capsules on one movement. How efficient that is in terms of production, I don't know, but it makes it interesting. So now that I see the balance moves freely, I'm happy to take it off the base movement and start putting the watch back together. It's quite cool. You notice how the balance cock's actually more or less a balanced bridge. It has 2 supporting areas. You have one here, and then of course where you screw it down. I've also fitted a new mainspring in the barrel. That's the other blued mainspring. I don't trust them. They can last for a long time, or they can snap straight away. I prefer the modern mainsprings any day. Here's the escape wheel. And we have the 4th wheel with the sub-second pivot on it. Fourth wheel. Tiny speck of dirt on that wheel. I'm just going to clean off. There we go. That's cleaned off. And we have the second wheel, center wheel. Of course, when you work on movements like this, fibers and stuff can always find their way into it while you work on it, so it's always good to have your Rodico close by. That's the barrel bridge in place. Now for the gear train bridge. It fell in very nicely, so that's always lovely when it does that. Now we can secure the gear train screws. Good. Next we have the crown wheel. Now it's time to put a little droplet of oil in here. It's a little big, let's see. There we go. Here we go. We have a central disc that holds the crown wheel in place. We have the free slotted screw indicating that it's a left-hand thread. We have the signed ratchet wheel, which says Taverness, which is, you know, the other name for Cyma, or the company originally. I've got it in the, we have a Cyma article on the website, mitka.co.uk, check it out. And I need to reread it. It was put there by Scott, who's a very avid enthusiast of reading up on watch brands and whatnot, has contributed some nice things to the channel. Not the channel, but the website, and just go check it out. Anyway, we got that in here now, so we're going to flip the movement around and start assembling the setting and winding mechanism. For the setting and winding mechanism, I like to fit the cannon pin in first. It's got a good tension on that. You can see how that's good enough. Might as well go ahead and lubricate the two posts for the intermediate winding wheel and the minute wheel. Next, I'm going to fit the sliding pinion and winding pinion. So that's the sliding pinion here. That gets a little bit of grease where it engaged with the yoke. Oh, that went flying away. See if I can find it. Yeah, no problem. And a drop of lubrication on the engaging wheel, or the engaging teeth that engages with the winding pinion itself. Next, I fit the setting lever. Flip your movement around, and then you tighten the screw. There we go. The setting lever has been secured. Now it's time for the yoke. I do like to apply a little bit of grease on the sliding surfaces. It engages with the setting lever here, and the yoke goes on to this post here. And the yoke spring comes in about there. Can be quite handy working with a little piece of pegwood to make sure the yoke spring doesn't propel itself through the air and gets lost forever, as happened before. Now I'm happy to fit the minute wheel. Intermediate winding wheel. And we have a little, no, we don't have on this movement, we have just a kind of a all-covering set a leading spring. So now I can actually wind and set the time. Next thing I'm going to do is fit the pallet fork. There we go. Now I've oiled the pallet fork. I'm going to fit the balance. Got a big balance wheel compared to the size of the movement. It's very compact. Look at that. And yes, it ticks. So very happy about that. There we go. Does look very nice, doesn't it? I like it. Okay, I've put the movement on the time graph. 272 amplitude, good. 0.2 beta, perfect. Plus 7 seconds a day. That's what I want. Okay, it's running a little fast. Maybe I'll adjust that. See, let's do it the other way around. Dial up. A bit more of a beta. So that's about 0.4. Yep. Alright, slows down a little bit. It's fine. It's a little bit of positional variation, but absolutely fine. It's around 0 seconds a day. Dial up. Let's do crown down. That's not bad at all. It's actually really good. Gains a little bit again. Perfect. This watch is going to keep very good time. Now the base movement is finished, timed and performing very well. I think it's time we pop this around, put this to the side, and we'll do the module. So as you can see, I have left the springs in place and cleaned them where they were, because they're very sensitive and I really don't want to force these out from where they are. I've also cleaned up some of these levers and gotten rid of the rust that was on them. The numpty was, I did film this in fast film, taking it apart, and I didn't take any photos, so I kind of have to figure out the way to put it back together somewhat by intuition. We have the date quick set lever, comes on here. Give any sliding part a little bit of grease. so. Try and figure out what screw goes where. Take it from there. Nice. That's the quick set lever again for the date. Make sure that will work. Next, we'll have a quick set lever for the month. This is also being cleaned up. There we go. Plenty of life left in the spring, which is good. So I think this comes on first. Like that. Then these will come on top, like that, and this will come on here. There we go. So this, let's have a look. That will turn the day wheel, and this will turn the date disc as it goes around. Okay. Here's our date wheel. Now it's actually just a question of fitting the discs. The first date disc, which is for the month disc, comes on this side. And the day discs on the other side here. I'm just tensioning the springs so that I can get them down. There we go, that's what I'm trying to say. Now let's put the assembly back together. So I'll take this off here. Got the base movement. actually fit it down here. Of course, now it's time to fit the hour wheel. It's on here. And then we can put on the module on top, which goes in this way around. Sorry about the blurry camera here. Let's secure the module onto the movement. There we go. And proof is of course in the pudding. Excellent. You can see them engaging. Very nice. Good. Time for hands and dial. And there we go, we got the hands on. That was a bit of an operation, so you've seen some of it in time lapse, and the reason for it is I spent almost an hour getting that right. Let's have a look, see if the date changes as it should now. Good, I'm happy with that. That's good enough for me. Let's get this movement into the case. So the case has two pushers. You come in here. I am going to put a little bit of blue grease on the pushers, able to let them slide easily inside. Actually, I'm going to put it inside here. Let's try again. I'm just taking the dial and hands off and back on again because I'd forgotten a screw. I'd forgotten one of the screws that was about under here. That was for the module. So I've only screwed in 2 screws, and I found in my other box, which I've taken apart a long time ago, that one of the screws had ended up in there. But anyway, back to where I was. I'm popping in these pushers. One here, and one in here. I've done a little modification to the case, and that is I've fitted a pen tube that was missing. I do not think this was the original crown anyway. I think that's been replaced at some point. That would have been a sign crown, and I do have a sign crown. That's why that's different on the case. It's gonna look nice. Now it's time to take the crown out so I can fit the movement. A lot of fuffing later. I've got the stem back in, and the problem was the other stem had been a little bit too short, so I had to look around and I found a longer stem in my part supply. But that works now. And another thing I did, I also secured the movement while I was working with it with the case screws. Now I'm going to fit the bezel with the new crystal on it. I always like to get the slot down here so that when you open it up you have easy access to your vessel slot. Good. That's nice on there, nice and secure. That looks really good. I'm going to go over the movement again with Rodico. We're going to put the case back on. I'm pretty happy with that. Looks nice and clean. No fibers. What do I think of the movement? Well, this isn't the highest decorated version of this family, but it's still nicely decorated. Nice finishing, nice layout. The triple date mechanism is pretty funky. Yeah, overall I like it. One thing I really like is the balance cock / bridge construction like this. It was one of the first things that drew me to Cyma, was this shock protection and this, and the more I've gotten to learn about it, the more I appreciate the brand. It's not the highest decorated movement in the Cyma family, but definitely a very nice movement. Here we got the case back. This is gold filled, the case, and that was restored because some of the plating had gone off and it really did not look very nice. These very rarely come up for sale. It's a pretty rare watch in general, so I felt inclined to give it a service, and here we are. All done. Now it's time to put the case back on. Good snap to that. And there it is, the finished watch. Gonna get a really nice strap for it that goes well with the gold case. I think maybe a light brown or something. And I'll test it for quite a bit to make sure everything is working as it should. And it might come up for sale on the website, mitka.co.uk. If nobody wants it, I'm very happy to keep it as well. It's a great watch. Let's now see if the triple date mechanism works. So the day and date. Good, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, it would have been nice if that worked, but it doesn't work. It's not resetting, so I have to look at that. All right, it's now 5:27, which means I've been mucking around with this for a little longer, but now we've got the quick set working. Had to take it apart again. Oh, power just went. Bloody hell. As the power has gone in my workshop, I think it's a local thing. Everything seems to be dark around me. There's no light inside, but as you can see, on a nice brown strap, this looks fantastic. The pusher is working again. I lubricated a few things with a fair amount of grease. The pushers aren't the best. If it does hang up, you can manually change it and then they'll engage again. So it's a 70-year-old watch. It does have a little bit wear and tear, and I don't think they were super smooth to start off with, but it's working now. I'm happy with it, and it will now go for a few days testing. So until next time, have a good one.